Let's react to two videos around different perspectives around dating. But before we get into that, give me the three freebies. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm your host for the Film Affair podcast, The Spencer Perspective, and we have work to do. Let's get to it.
Let's get it.
Y'all, I'm tired. I no longer want to be an independent woman. Forget that INDE. I'm good. I want to be a housewife. Listen, the next man that has good credit, a stable home, finances is straight, baby, I'm marrying you. Yes, sir, I am.
That's a real empty way to actually start a marriage off. Just because someone actually has their finances straight, their paperwork straight, I think you need a mixture of both. That cannot be a reason for you to just drop into a relationship. It's because someone else has money. If that's your only motivation for getting into a relationship, you don't have one.
I'm not an alpha female no more. I've learned.
So if someone ever says to you that they're an alpha female, there's no real such thing as an alpha female for what it's worth. At least not in the sense as being an alpha male, as we say, alpha, right? But there's no real way to truly be an alpha female if you really think about it. I'm not even going to break this down. I'll let you think about it. But break down that nonsense. An alpha female. All right.
My lesson, baby, I will be submissive to you. Baby,
So, if she's saying that she's going to be submissive to just you, that sounds all good and dandy. But it sounds like it's highly conditional, with the conditions put behind it that you have to support her financially. If someone submits to you due to a condition that has to be met, is that submission true? That's something you also have to look at. Submission has to come naturally, whether you have $1 in your pocket or 100,000. If you're with the type of woman who's not submissive all the time, and submission is not really a weird thing, actually. Why, in fact, that's how you truly get into your divine femininity, for what it's worth. But that's another conversation for another day.
I will cook for you. I will clean for you. Yes, daddy, whatever.
When it comes to domestic duties, you should be cooking and cleaning for each other in the general sense. You're supposed to be taking care of each other. But, yeah.
Whatever you need. You want sex when you want it? Yes, sir, you got it.
That thought process, you want sex, getting sex when you want it. I think that the thought process behind that is that if a woman's with a man that she has to give sex to, that she doesn't want to have sex with or want to jump his bones, is she with the right person? I guarantee you most men, when they want to be with a woman, it's because they like her more physically than anything else. So they're going to want her. So you got to figure out what that thought process is. But I'm not coming at the lady that's actually speaking. This is for us to actually work on our thought process together.
Baby, you want a meal at 3 o'clock in the morning? Yes, sir, you got it.
That's actually kind of cool. A meal at 3 o'clock in the morning doesn't sound too bad for what it's worth at all.
Take care of me, because this working 2 jobs, although I love being a registered nurse, I love my profession. Let me just work as needed. Let me work when I want to work. I'm over it. I'm tired, y'all. So hook in your luck. I'm looking for a husband. I'm ready to be a housewife.
So here's the issue with someone ready to be a housewife looking for a husband, but the only parameter is money. That's the issue. Is that the only basis for success is the cash flow behind the relationship, and that's what she's thinking about, said future cash flow.
What do you want?
Without anything else besides that, not going to go much further. Give me a second. Let me skip this ad. All right. And I got to switch around the channel for that. We got to clip this. So this is a video for a man that went viral on TikTok for telling men to stop dating American women. I'll go over his videos until the commentator shows up, and then I'll give you my own 2 cents behind it. I think we have to really reshape how we think about dating women from the U.S. and then marrying women from the U.S. We have to truly, really, like this. This is something that cannot take flight. This thought process can't truly take flight. And I'll tell you why.
just because she doesn't want to be a wife to you.
After making that video, he actually changed his mind. He made this video talking about don't marry women from the United States at all. Let's check it out.
Guys, look, stop. I'm just going to go ahead and say this because I've had enough of this reading the comments and just talking and seeing that nobody's going to change. Nobody's even going to get the message. Stop dating women in the United States altogether. I know I said stop.
All right. That is foolish to just stop dating women from a specific area. Just because they're from that area. Let's just break that one part down. We got to truly break down every single part of this process so that you can avoid the thought process behind the fact that, hey, there's no viable partners in the U.S. I think the process needs to change from there's no viable partners in the U.S. to I will become a viable partner in the U.S. We can look around and just see that the dating ecosystem has truly changed. And I want to say more for the worse, more so than for the better. But I can tell you, if you're a hunting type of man, there's a lot of game to be hunted out there. But if you're the type of man that's looking for a strong, healthy, long-term relationship that's stable, that's the hard part. To find someone that wants that with you and wants to work to that process with you. That's the issue. That's what we need to start focusing on. Not where they're from, what they're thinking of and where their mind is. That's what we need to start focusing on.
Don't marry a woman. Don't even with them at all now, okay? Because the thing is, nobody's gonna change, right? No.
That's a lie. Never ever adopt that thought process. No one is going to change. It all starts from inside. The person that you're looking at making this video right now is not the same person from 2 years ago. My philosophies, desires have changed so immensely. But they've changed so that I can become more emotionally better, set more realistic expectations about what I want from life. There's so much that goes into this thought process that no one's going to change. No, change starts with you. It starts with you, and then you slowly change things and people around you to reflect what you want out of life. Then you actually find someone, not based upon attraction from what you see, but based upon attraction from what you know and their own desires matching with yours.
Nobody's even going to try to compromise, okay?
They will. You will find someone that wants to compromise, but you have to make sure that they understand that you know why they won't want to compromise in the beginning. We're not having these conversations in the beginning of our romantic connections about expectations, about things that went wrong in the previous connection, and then you want them to go right in the current connection. You got to understand, hey, if you don't discuss the mistakes from you made previously, how the hell are you going to know how to avoid them in the future if you don't discuss them with your partner? That's the part we need to focus on, I think.
They think that you want to control them because you asked them to sweep the floor in the same house that they live in. And at the end of the day, I was told that, hey, Austin, you're just going through a phase. But let me ask you this. What are you getting out of dating a woman from the United States? You go to these other countries, you experience these women that treat you like you are somebody.
All right, so we can stop this right here, and let's just carry the rest of the conversation from from what I'm looking at as of right now. So the one thing I can say is this much: if you have that thought process in your own homeland, you're not going to enjoy it no matter where else you go, because that experience that those men are encountering in those other countries, it's not truly the norm. It's a part of the it's a part of the ecosystem. It'll happen, sure, but it's not an everyday thing. No one sits there and serves another person consistently. With that being said, you got to figure out, hey, what's that middle ground? What's the middle ground? Like, for some reason, we have this in America, and this is coming up in another video. Man, bring all the money in. Get the house, get the car, bring all the money in. Woman, take care of the children, cook my meals, jump on the go-go stick whenever you need me to. we have to actually start taking that thought process, because if the money isn't the same as it used to be from back there, then our responsibilities got to change as well too. I think that we are equally responsible for different things in a relationship. We're equally responsible for making sure your partner has a meal in their stomach, equally responsible for making sure your partner feels wanted, desired, equally responsible for taking care of the space that you live in. You're the ones making the mess. Clean it up. I don't get this talk. You need to find partners, people that want to do the same thing while having someone else to do it with. Because if you're by yourself, you have to do these things anyway. Don't wait. Here's the 2 lessons from the videos. Don't wait until it's too late to understand that you need one person that will figuratively and literally be the closest person to you in your life. Here's the second lesson from the other video. Don't think what's in the other countries you can't find here. Why, in fact, even better, you can create it. But you have to be conscious and intentional with that person, and they have to be conscious and intentional with you. I think that if you have a thought process for this, bring it up to someone. They may need to learn from someone new like you, especially if you're looking to be the man in a relationship. And ladies, if you're looking at this video, try and find a man that you want to learn from. Have realistic expectations behind what that relationship will look like due to the economy, due to capitalism, due to the US, the culture. We have to take all these different things into consideration in order to make the most of it. But no worries. Day by day, you're going to get better. I'm going to get better. We all will. This is the Spencer Perspective, and we have work to do. I'm out.